Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on to court Jack and Malia Buckskin and our SASTA athletes to perform our Welcome to Country.
We stand here today as representatives of the Kaurna people to welcome us all onto country, to pay respects to our spiritual world, and to welcome all of our guests that gather on these lands. And we pay respects to other Aboriginal people that come here and gather here today and represent all of us as locals of this country. I sing a song to ask for blessings of the spiritual ancestors to look after us as people and of the land that we stand on. And then I'll finish with a little bit of the didgeridoo, or the yidaki, traditional owned from the Yolngu people of the Arnhem Land area.
A heartwarming welcome to country ceremony here in First Nations round in the Suncorp Super Netball at Adelaide Entertainment Centre, as the Adelaide Thunderbirds look to make it into the finals for the first time since 2013. A win tonight will push them a long way to achieving that goal. Let's have a look at the team cards here in First Nation round. And for the Thunderbirds, Georgie Horges is back from illness for the Thunderbirds. Lucy Austin is out of the squad. Lanice Potketer crucially will start. For the Vixens, Sam Pullman, there's no changes.
Yeah, the Vixens start their usual impressive lineup. The form last week, was really exciting. For me, it's that matchup between Liz Watson and Captain Hannah Petty from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. It's going to be one that we'll be really watching closely.
And it feels like a finals atmosphere here at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. This home match move to the bigger venue for the Thunderbirds, and they will get right behind their team. So the Vixens chasing the minor premiership against the Thunderbirds, desperate to end their finals drought as we are underway at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Thunderbirds with the first centre pass, and they'll look just to calm the nerves early on. We know with the ball in hand, they haven't been as strong as the Vixens this season. It's been their defensive end which has been so strong. So this is a big period here just to calm, and Lanice Potketer does that.
And that's exactly the start we want from her. In round 10 was her highest volume in 46 goals. 100% shooting. That's the volume that we need to see from her tonight.
Maloney linking with Eddie, and an important hand from Williams. Got the deflection, it fell for Wilson. And now the Thunderbirds, they are right on tonight. You can totally understand when they look around this packed house. Williams, and now Petty.
Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. The middle channel is exactly where Austin was coming from, and Williams is so good defensively. That disruption so early in the flow of the Vixens is really exciting and promising to see from the T-Birds.
So contact from Joe Weston. And now Emily Mannix is forced to stand aside on Potgieter. Back from illness this week. She was on the bench last week, didn't come on because of that illness. And she has started strong. They've got another centre pass, so a chance to make it a 3-goal margin inside the opening couple of minutes. And Williams is on the deck, and it's going to be the Vixens' ball. Weston fired that pass to Austin. Again, the pressure from Wilson was applied. Austin, good sharp hands, linking with the Australian captain. And now this is the Vixens co-captain, Maloney, to Austin. And she's full of confidence at the moment, really finding her best form after recovering from that ACL injury. From Wenda, Malawi International, finding Kate Maloney. And again, there's an arm in from Wilson.
That's what Wilson is so good at. We often talk about Sterling, but for me, Wilson this year, her ability to get hand on ball. We see on the Harvey Norman replay the elevation from her to get up and contest that ball.
Well, she's 4th in the competition for intercepts with 26, which is pretty good. When you look at Sterling, who has 44, it doesn't look quite as strong, but she is one of the best in the competition, Latanya Wilson.
But put them in the circle together, and that's why they're so incredible. Vixens need to have a look at keeping the ball low and out of the air, which is their strength.
So the Thunderbirds are rolling along nicely at the moment. Borges, she's back in the side this week, linking with Potgieter. Had to fling it back, but it was over the line, so it'll be a Vixens ball. Tanya Ops will be very pleased with what she's seeing here. From a Thunderbird side who have been up and down this season, but they've been more up in recent weeks. 3 wins in their last 5. The Vixens on a 5-match winning streak. So 2 teams in a rich vein of form at the moment. That's why we're expecting a high-quality contest as Watson feeds Austin. And she does the business for the Vixens. And just a little bit of communication lacking between Watson and Kumwenda.
And something we don't often see from the Melbourne Vixens. So this is the pressure that the Adelaide Thunderbirds have started already. Not only have they got hands on ball, they've created that play that the Vixens are not used to. And that's the little wins and the little grinds that you need to do.
Shani Norder is sidelined. Shani, you happy with this start from the home team?
Yeah, they've really come out cracking, except for unfortunately that pass there. But they just need to tidy up those really little errors, and they cannot let the Vixens get into their groove. If they can keep getting a few tips and intercepts, a few balls out of court, they'll stay in this game. But if they let the Vixens get into their groove, that's when they'll find themselves in trouble.
And we know how consistent they are, as Shani touched on in the pre-game show. And Kira Austin from range.
They're so patient with the ball, so they're happy to throw it around. They're happy to have to replay and go again. So it's about making them do movements and go places that they're not comfortable in doing.
That's a pass which asked a bit of Wilson. She just got there in front of Austin.
Yes.
Drawn fed by Williams. Tipper Dwan, back to Williams, and Potgieter. A match which is so significant in the season. The Vixens win, they clinch the minor premiership. At the moment, the Thunderbirds in front. That means they are into the top 4. And they have not played finals since 2013. Shani Norder and Sam Poolman were part of that team who went on to win the grand final here in Adelaide. So that's how long it's been.
And Ben, for me, this is the Adelaide Thunderbirds from the last couple of years. This is the team that can do it. They have the athletes, they have the talent, they can perform well to make the top 4 and take it to anybody in that top 4. This start is really good in the first quarter. They need to just keep chipping away and keep in this contest.
Thunderbirds really punching above their weight. As Austin successful. And just on the Thunderbirds, you look at their internationals, no Australian internationals. They've got 2 Jamaican internationals in Sterling and Wilson, and then Potke to the South African international. You compare that to the Vixens, who have got 5 current or former diamonds. So that's what they're up against tonight. That's what they're going to have to overcome.
Well, that's the experience, but for me, the likes of Georgie Horgis is the future of Australian netball. So there is a lot of talent. While they're not in the national stage just yet, they are talented enough to hopefully one day get there.
So a HCF tactical timeout called by Tanya Ops. Let's have a listen to what the Thunderbirds coach has got to say. So we can't hear Tanya Ops there, but what do you think she has called this timeout for, Sam?
I think she'll be really happy with the start and the intensity, but just that little bit of connection that's lacking down the attack end. I think sometimes the vision is there, but they're not quite giving it, or there's a mismatch. But let's have a listen in.
Let it land and then go to the next ball. Yeah, we don't want to be out of play. We don't want to be out of play, but we need to work together so someone's got the front space and the other one peels off the second space. Yeah, so let's draw a 3.
We just have a little issue with something on the court, but that's not going to hold us up for too long. Kate Maloney, real heartbeat of this Vixen side. Midway through this first quarter at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The minor premiership on the line for the Melbourne Vixens for the second time in 3 seasons. Kamwenda.
The intensity from this Adelaide Thunderbirds is exactly what I want to see. They're hesitant from the Vixens shooters. They're not wanting shooting it, so they're paying credit to the amazing arms over from the T-Birds defending it, so they're continually adjusting. So this start is exactly what we want to see.
And just look at the difference in goals for the Vixens. Austin 5 from 5, Kamwenda 1 from 1, and they are taking a lot of shots from range through Kira Austin. Does that show you the fear they've got around getting close to the post and potentially giving away an intercept or deflection?
Well, fear, or should I say respect to the opponent, but you're right. The matchup that I was most excited about today was Kamwenda and Sterling.
Oh, there it is from Wilson on cue.
How good is she? The ability to just get the ball is exactly what they need. So Yes, it's keeping Kamwenda quiet, and Austin is doing the damage. But when she's up against a player like Wilson, this is exactly what we want to see.
Horde just flings it back in. Potgieter was right there. Right place at the right time. Then Petty link with Dwan. Now Horde just straight over the top to the South African. And they're back, level. 7 apiece at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. And that is a stat that the Thunderbirds have been so strong in gaining possession. So we're nearing the power 5. And this is an area where they have been lacking a little bit. Haven't been as efficient from the centre pass compared to sides like the Vixens. But tonight, it's going along nicely. And when you've got Sterling, well, she's done it again. And it should be no surprise, Shamira Sterling.
I think it's just an expectation. Have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. We talk about how good Sterling is in the air, but no, she can get down low and get a bounce pass as an intercept as well.
Even all 190 centimetres of her. Now, Potgieter wasn't quite on the same page, but everything, every little half error even from the Thunderbirds is falling their way. Dwan wants a better position, and Potgieter will get that right next to the post.
They're the moments with confidence that brings. So Vixens are a team that chase down every ball. For Adelaide Thunderbirds to keep a ball in like that and keep possession, that's a win that doesn't require stat. Have a look at this. Doesn't give up, chases it, keeps it in court, and her teammate is there to back up. The old Adelaide Thunderbirds would allow that ball just to go out of court and lose possession.
So Simone McInnes calls the latest HCF tactical timeout. Let's have a listen.
Be patient. They'll work it to you. All right, they'll work it to you. And just be patient with the ball, with the timing. So we're starting to creep and go a bit early, so they work that timing to have those options. Keep offering, re-offering, all right? I reckon we can close the space a bit, just giving a bit too much room back there. All right, there's good pressure. We've got 5 minutes. Yeah. Let's be smart. If it's not on in the middle, go to the other video on these things. Let's go.
Yes, the Thunderbirds huddle. Well, Tanya was much happier in that huddle. She said to the attackers that they need to make the most, so she wants them starting wide so that the Vixens defenders can't work together. But from my own point of view, they've already got so many turnovers in this first quarter. You know it's an intense game when you've had 2 timeouts and it's not even quarter time yet. So they need to play with no fear so they can make the most of these opportunities.
Thanks, Shani. Fascinating as well. Simone McInnes usually calls the least. She's called the least timeouts in the competition thus far. So doesn't that show you how critical this contest is for the Vixens? Potgieter, that time from mid-range. It'll just be worth the 1. As Simone McInnes watches on. Intriguingly, these two sides, 2 of the lowest in terms of taking super shots. So what's the option here from the Vixens?
It'll just be continually being those options. We heard Simone say to Kamwenda in that HCF timeout that they're going to bring the ball to her. So that means the movement needs to come out. She can stay in that circle and wait till they bring the ball down the court to her. For me, Kamwenda, we used to seeing her have the volumes of the shots, but Austin is capable of doing that as well. So it's a credit to the work that Sterling's doing against Kamwenda.
Yeah, fascinating. Down that other end, it's Potgieter who has been so dominant for the Thunderbirds down their attack end. Williams feeding Potgieter. And successful again. So a 3-goal margin in the shadows of quarter time. Georgie Horgis, what an impact she's having on this match. Back from illness.
Another win from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. I've been super impressed with the work that they're doing from the transverse line to the top of the circle. So they're making every single pass by a Vixens player have to work, and they get rewarded by the turnover. An offside is still a gain. They just need to transition down the court now and make sure they score off it.
So 3 intercepts in this first quarter from the Thunderbirds, 4 gains. Potgieter just the tip up to herself. Decides against the super shot. So they're being very patient here, the Thunderbirds. It's almost Vixens-like, but it doesn't go their way.
And that's a held ball. Potgieter fell down in the back, so they didn't have another option. They need to, if there's nothing forward, be comfortable in turning to reset and go again.
Maybe too patient on that occasion, the Thunderbirds.
And it's a fine line, because Wilson again.
Well, this is, and look at Sterling. Look at the aerial reach she's got there. Gorgeous. Got contact on Williams. A long way away from where Horges was. And Potgieter put under pressure against the post. And it doesn't come off. You can see Latanya Wilson, Shamira Sterling dominating the Nissan net points, and that is so unsurprising. And this time the pressure is coming from the captain, Petty, on Austin. It doesn't go their way, but this is just this pressure which is building, and they know it's coming.
And the energy is there. Last week, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, we hyped up the game, were so excited, and they were a very flat team. This is the Adelaide Thunderbirds that can be in the top 4, and this start of this game performance is exactly what they need to do.
It looked like an attempted Suncorp super shot. Austin from close range, and it's Sterling who clinches the rebound.
And that's another battle that I'm super excited about. The Adelaide Thunderbirds defensive unit are the best in the competition in terms of rebounds, but the Vixens attackers are also top in terms of getting rebounds. So it's a contest that will go down to who wants it more.
Well, it is a real tight one. It's a low-scoring match, and we absolutely love it here at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Just 2 the difference. And you knew the Thunderbirds, they had to really restrict the Vixens down the attack, and they had to drag them down into the trenches. And that's how they've won the majority of matches they have this season from their defence. Williams, her first season as a full-time contracted player. Massive responsibility in centre. Here's Dwan for a Suncorp super shot, the first of the evening, and it gives the Thunderbirds a 4-goal lead. Austin and Watson to Kumwenda. Can she respond for the Vixens? She steadied, it hit the rim and rolled out. So what's the option? Do they just go up in ones? That's the decision from the Vixens. That's the way they've done it all season. They're not going to change it here in Adelaide. Well, what a night of netball this is on Fox Netball. A ripping game between the Firebirds and the Giants. We have got another one on our hands here at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. We'll be back right here on Fox Netball with the second quarter after the break.
And welcome back to First Nations round here at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Thunderbirds are up by 3 at quarter time. Coach Tanya Obster said to her centre court she wants them working on that centre pass, coming through the back door to the wing defence to work it down the court and then being a bit safer with the ball. Sammy, you were listening into the Vixens huddle. What did they say?
Well, it's all about work rate from both teams, I'm hearing, Shani. They spent a lot of time in the Vixens with the attack end, speaking about taking the drive, working early, give and go again. It's about lifting the work rate in defence and slowing that ball down. And I liked how Simone McInnes finished it off, saying it's about the little wins along the way.
Origin energy bringing you quarter time there. And we really needed a breather after that frantic first 15 minutes. A match which means so much to both sides. The Thunderbirds a shot at the finals for the first time since 2013, and the Vixens a minor premiership. Taylor Williams with the ball in her hands, and now it's Georgie Horges. So influential in the first quarter You just wonder how she's going to go as this match wears on. Out with illness last week, so how does her fitness hold up? Here she is in possession. Kipper Dwan, Potgieter got the right arm there, flung it back, but it's out of court. So not the way they would have wanted to start there, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, in this second quarter.
For me, they just need to place the ball a little bit more. Everything is on stretch, which means it's risky, and you know, running a fine line between losing possessions. So they just need to change their possession, their placement with that ball.
So Joe Weston had a big week this week, especially as president of the Australian Netball Players Association, with that decision regarding the grand final. You see that penalty count there. 24 given away by the Vixens to just 8 from the Thunderbirds, and that shows you how elite their defence is.
And really high in the first quarter. Another win for the Adelaide Thunderbirds, gaining possession, but you need to adjust. You've got to do that work rate, but stay in play.
Williams just up and over the top to Dwan. Just dropping back. Potgieter presenting. Really good stretch she gets there. Gets herself closer, but couldn't convert. So a start to this second quarter dominated by defence. You could also say mistakes down the attack end, but it's just this pressure from the defence ends of both teams. Austin to Maloney, that was good distribution. This is from some kind of range for Kumwenda. It just got to the rim and dribbled over for the first of this second quarter.
And T-Birds have done a really good job in keeping her quiet in this first half of the game. She's normally quite dominant for the Vixens in terms of their attack end. And when you go up against a quality team like this, it's just about getting them to do something different than they're normally doing. And that's exactly what Sterling's doing a good job of, keeping Kumwenda quiet and not as dominant as she usually is.
So good start this from Maui Kumwenda in this second quarter. And all of a sudden, the Adelaide Thunderbirds, these issues that have crippled them throughout the season, their conversion from the centre pass, starting to haunt them again. They know one quarter of netball isn't good enough. They've got to put this together for the entire four. Maloney quickly to Kumwenda. She's getting her confidence, isn't she? The Malawi international. Tanya Ops has got some thinking to do.
She'll be a little bit nervous but confident on the sideline there. The last 4 goals are from the Melbourne Vixens starting this quarter, so they've certainly come out dominating and showing that they can respond. They've got the feedback from their coach. They've identified areas they're not, doing well in. A good team comes out and executes. For me, Thunderbirds have shied away a little bit. They need to continue that confidence they had in the first quarter.
And they know they keep playing well, the Vixens, and they'll just quiet down this massive crowd at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Porges. Dwan got herself into a good position there and gets the Thunderbirds on the board in this second quarter. It's taken a while. Just her second of the night. Volume dominated by Potgieter. Shared evenly by Kumwenda and Kira Austin.
Have a look at the time per goal, Ben. It shows the intensity from the defence end in both teams, that it's taking a long time to score because they have to move the ball around. It's a little bit harder. The intensity from the defence end for both teams is there, which is making this contest such a tight one in the opening half.
Potgieter out of Horges. The best defensive team in the competition, the Thunderbirds, but the worst attacking team. It's the polar opposites.
But have a look at this. There's no depth until that last ball. Everything was going sideways. There was no gaining down the court in the depth. So that's credit to Vixen's defence end, and that's what they wanted to do, slow that ball down.
So going goal for goal at the moment. Austin. And Maloney. Austin presenting. Will she make her way into that final diamond squad for the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham? She's certainly on the precipices. Kira Austin. Let's get some thoughts from Shani.
coming into this Thunderbirds centre pass, have a look at the Vixens defence. They're really pushing the Thunderbirds up high, which is what's making it so tough for them. So they really need to make sure they're taking those drives and punching them through, because you see Kate Eddy there really putting in that workload, and what that does is it makes it harder to get the ball into that goal circle when the ball's coming from further out in the third.
Potkita getting us back to 16 apiece. You may have just seen that stat. Goals from centre passes in their second quarter. The Vixens much more efficient in that department. Maloney to Watson and Kumwenda.
And they have been all season. The best that they've had in a game is 9%.
There she is. Shamira Sterling pinches it back for the Thunderbirds. That is massive, because they have the next centre pass if they're good enough. So a chance for them to build a buffer. Potkita reaches it but spills it out of court. Well, no surprise there. 7-2 in the gains department for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. But again, it's at the other end.
It's the conversion to goal. They have the ability to get hand on ball. It's then, you know, making it count, making it score. And that's the difference when we look at both these teams. Vixens might not get as much hand on ball, but they convert it to a goal as another simple footwork call from the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
So Kumwenda gets herself close to the post. She'll be looking to get herself in that, well, let's be certain, she'll be part of that Malawi team at the Com Games. They beat New Zealand last time round in a massive upset. She's having a massive say in this second quarter, and that's why Tanya Ops has decided to call a HCF tactical timeout. Let's hear what the Thunderbirds coach has got to say after a slow start to this second quarter.
We need multiple efforts. I need you standing up. She's doing this. Just stand up and keep light feet and do a roll out of it. We don't need you buckling over, because then we can't see you. So nice and tall. Multiple efforts. That was a really good, that last centre pass with a wide and down, okay? Think about what it looks like in that open side, all right? You got that movement. Oh, you're right, you got that. You talked about that circle. We need calm, but moving the ball quickly. Okay, so calm in here, but the ball is moving quickly. Reward the leads. We don't have too many options, all right? That chase down up there, you go. Let's go, Sean. Let's work it hard.
In the Vixens huddle, they were just chatting about loving what they were doing. They've come out so strong in this second quarter, but they don't want to rush that ball down the court. It's about playing it around. Their timing is impeccable, and they're just going to have to keep on punching that out for the rest of this quarter.
Well, they won the first quarter by 3 goals, and you can understand why the Vixens are so happy. 5 goals. They're winning this second quarter by after losing that first by 3. So they have turned the tables at Adelaide Entertainment Centre.
And forced the change from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. So we see Wilson move over to the wing defence position. Garrett come on in goal defence, and Hannah Petty move to the centre. So this is a defence line that has, we're talking about it all night, Ben, the ability to get ball. But Hannah Petty, in terms of her attacking game, let's see if she can connect with her feeds with the likes of Potkita and Tipperdawn.
So Taylor Williams to the bench, most inexperienced member of this Thunderbird side, just her 16th National League match, and maybe just feeling that pressure a bit of this high-intensity match. Things working well there for the Thunderbirds.
And Hannah Petty comes on and brings the leadership.
There is Peter Malinauskas in the house, the South Australian Premier. And he enjoyed that, and he will enjoy this if Lenise Potkita can tie us up again.
And that's the exact feed that we wanted from Hannah Petty. It's a much better placement into Potkita, a much better hold. And that's why the change happened. Hannah Petty brings the experience and the leadership of captain in that centre position.
You just cannot split them. The Thunderbirds and the Vixens. The Thunderbirds actually haven't beaten the Vixens here in Adelaide since 2015. That's how long it's been. They are going to have to battle their way to a win tonight, because this is a Vixen side who are just keeping their noses in front. Porges now to Petty. The wheels are in motion now for the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
What a beautiful play by the Adelaide Thunderbirds. That's 4 passes to score. The options were there, the vision. That's exactly what we want to see from the Adelaide Thunderbirds if they want to beat this Melbourne Vixens team.
And they're going to get possession again here. So the momentum is just swinging as we near the Power 5 in this second quarter. Hotgeter and Horges. Tipper-Dwan. Well, the home fans are telling you the story here. Dwan, Horges, and now Potgieter was just able to hold off Mannix, and it's out now by 2. The Thunderbirds now snatching back the ascendancy. 5 of the last 6. And this is what the Vixens didn't want, this home crowd lifting the volume.
Well, and hasn't the momentum changed? We keep talking about it, keeps shifting between either team, and really smart coaching decisions from Tanya Ops to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. These changes have been really smart, and the intensity and the connection. There we go again. Horges to Potgieter. Amazing.
So we are into the Power 5. Just the one successful Suncorp super shot thus far. We touched on this in the first quarter. 2 sides who don't like to take a lot of them. But Kira Austin is going to take one on here. And that is the Vixens' first. And so critical for them.
And Ben, that's what we spoke about in pre-game. The Melbourne Vixens being the team who can identify when to step up and deliver in crucial moments. Austin didn't have to sink one then. What a ball.
Oh, how about that flying through the air? Tipper-Dwan, what a take.
The vision, this is so much better from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. The options there, the vision's there, and the confidence to let it go. Have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. Vision, execution, amazing.
5 stars. Austin again. Couldn't deliver. Garrett hit the deck. Now got the ball in her arms, and Petty quickly onto Wilson. Here is Horges. Tipper-Dwan playing with confidence, the former Firebird tonight. And just looping it over the aerial route to Potgieter.
And such a strong hold, so much better from Potgieter. In the HCF timeout, Tanya Obbs, the Adelaide Thunderbirds coach, said, you need to be strong, you need to hold. For me, she's dominating that battle between Mannix and Potgieter.
Well, it was her HCF tactical timeout, which has worked a treat. Horges. And Potgieter pushes it out to a 3-goal margin for the Thunderbirds. They don't need the super shots at the moment. So the Vixens, of course, without their super shot specialist in Rani Samuson, but Kira Austin, 1 from 2 in that department tonight. She may yet have another go here. No, she won't. Kumwenda was open, but just a carbon copy of what happened a few seconds earlier. Gets herself sorted and brings us back to 2, the difference. Behind by 5 goals earlier in this second quarter, and now we're almost back level.
This is an impressive team from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. The old Adelaide Thunderbirds would have just let that game go because the momentum shifted. This Adelaide Thunderbirds have identified what's gone wrong, really smart coaching decisions, and are back in this game. This is a team that deserves to be in finals.
Well, Tipper-Dwan frustrated with that replay call going against her. And Kumwenda, it got there eventually. But if that little moment, that little flash point from Tipper-Dwan doesn't show you the intensity, the heat in this match, nothing will.
And you got to have passion.
And now Kumwenda, oh, she doesn't take many Suncorp super shots. Just shaping up there. Austin into the breadbasket of Watson. And Kamwenda with the layup. 25 apiece. Just 2 minutes remaining in this half. It's a match which has ebbed and flowed. One team gets the ascendancy, you think they're away. And then the other fights back.
And a low-scoring match, but I think that is credit to the intensity and the defense game from both teams. Every ball, every effort you give is hard work. And when players are tired in big moments, it's those that are mentally strong, not only physically, but also mentally, to be tired and deliver in the moment. So this second half is going to be a really exciting 30 minutes of netball.
Well, it was their lowest score of the season, the Vixens, when they played the Thunderbirds in that round 6 match. They won it 53-47. And you feel like it's going to be that kind of scoreline tonight. Potgieter has to touch it back in. Again, Lenise Potgieter with a mega play in this match. And Tippetron rewards her goal shooter for all that hard work against the sideline. So can they lock it up here? And see the volume for the Thunderbirds, dominated by Potgieter. It's over the sideline for a Vixens throw-in. They've got less than 20 seconds. They won't panic though. Wilson getting a hand in, but giving away the contact penalty. And Shamira Sterling getting the hand in. It is out of play, and it's the Vixens with Kamwenda. She'll get the opportunity to lock us up 27-all at halftime at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. What a contest this is, Sam.
This is exactly what we dreamed and hoped for, Ben. We wanted two teams who were passionate and that want to make finals. And for me, both teams are delivering in this first half of netball.
Let's get some reaction with Shani.
I'm down here with Liz Watson. Liz, a tight first half. What do you need to do to keep that ball away from those Adelaide Thunderbirds defenders?
I think we're just throwing it straight to them at times. We're not faking, get them off the body. They go so hard on the first lead. Just got to mix up the timing a bit, but just take it on. I think we're getting a bit scared of what they're putting out in front of us.
And coming into that second half, how are you going to break away from them, if that's possible?
Yeah, I think exactly that, and rewarding the ball that we are getting from defence. Playing it patient, playing it our pace. I think we get caught up in their frantic play sometimes, which is why we're throwing balls.
And how much would a win tonight mean for you?
Oh, it will be awesome. You know, we want to get that top position, but we've got 30 minutes of netball to do that, so hopefully we can.
All right, all the best.
Thanks, Shani. Well, it's the Thunderbirds' final home match of the season, and the fans here at Adelaide Entertainment Centre are making a night to remember. Their team is putting up a real fight against a team fighting for the minor premiership. It is deafening here, and we've got Thunderbirds coach Tanya Ops who joins us. Tanya, you must be so happy as usual with the defence end. At the other end, what do you want to see in this second half?
I think, you know, we just need to continue to put multiple efforts in, I suppose, to receive the ball. The Vixens are obviously a very tight one-on-one defence, so we need to make sure that we're working hard to receive the ball.
Tanya, you missed Georgie Horges in your game last week. How important is she in terms of that role in that wing attack position, but also your attacking end?
Yeah, look, she's a playmaker, there's no doubt about that, and I think she just sort of sets up a lot for us, and, you know, hoping to her to continue that for another 15 minutes.
You're playing in the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, where you were part of the team that won in 2013. There's plenty of past players here in the Entertainment Centre celebrating 25 years. How much influence this week have you spoken about how important this game is to get the Adelaide Thunderbirds back into playing finals?
Yeah, look, we've, look, at 25 year, we've been working really hard to honour our past, so you're looking to put out another good performance with that.
Thanks, Tanya, for your time. Good luck tonight. And a real issue for Tanya Ops, just as we were chatting to her, because Matilda Garrett has left the court with injury. She just called to the umpire saying, I need play stopped here, and she has left the court. So a reshuffle is going to be forced. So Williams into centre, Petty into wing defence. So It was a move that worked so well for them in the first half. How are they going to deal with it in the third quarter here? Potgieter, no problems. They're in the top 4 on the live ladder at the moment with the lead, but there's still a long way to go. The captain tracks down the ball. So Taylor Williams, she was put under pressure in that first half.
We've spoken about how exciting that she's been this year. And for me, there's nothing better than sitting on the sideline, having a watch, having the feedback coming on. Now she needs to return to the court now and adjust and have that vision that we saw in Hannah Petty when she was in centre.
Let's go to Shani.
I'm down here on the Thunderbirds sideline. Matilda Garrett's just come off. They're feeling around on her left calf. It looks like she might have a bit of an injury, whether it's her calf or Achilles. They're just testing it at the moment, lifting it up and down, but unsure if she'll be coming back on tonight, team.
Thanks, Shani. Not missing a beat there on the sideline. She's right there on the spot, Shani Norder. She does not miss anything. Horges. Williams linking back with Georgie Horges. Tipper Dwan. Potgieter was presenting, but Mannix was just keeping an eye on her. Dwan just struggling for an option. Does get the penalty. Williams, that was calmly done from the 22-year-old. And Potgieter keeping this scoreboard ticking over for the Thunderbirds. And Olivia Lewis is now out there for the Vixens at the other end, but they've got problems at the attack end. Kawenda flinging it back, and it's Shamira Sterling who reads everything. Another example.
Yeah, have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. I loved the fact that there was such a Maloney getting a ball in the intercept. Both teams are making multiple changes. We see Hannah Mundy come into the centre position, Liz Watson go to wing attack, and then shifting Maloney to wing defence. And as you just touched on, Olivia Lewis coming on to goalkeeper. When she comes on, she makes impact. So have a watch of that matchup, because she has the ability to get some hands on ball and has the confidence to have a fly.
So both teams looking to really change things up. For the Thunderbirds, it was forced. For the Vixens, a decision from Simone McInnes, just to see how Olivia Lewis can influence this contest in the 37th match.
And she's good whenever she comes on for the Melbourne Vixens. And this lineup is what's been really impressive all season, is they have multiple players and a really strong bench from the Vixens. And coach Simone McInnes isn't afraid to use them, as Taylor Davies, hands over pressure, comes up with the intercept.
Tipper Dwan, and now Williams.
That's not a bad way to re-enter the game, get hand on ball.
Just boosting that confidence. They just seem to be playing with so much confidence. Have a look at this from Tipper Dwan. Talk about confidence.
And why wouldn't they? They're playing for a spot in the finals in front of a full Adelaide Entertainment Centre at home. This means a lot to the men.
Well, this is why the Suncorp Super Netball has had its tightest season. The minor premiers up against a team in 5th. You just cannot read this competition. Let's hear from Simone McInnes from the Vixens.
Having that options there together out there on court. Just don't get stuck on that body there, sort of like leaning and off it, eyes up, contest everything. Take those drives like you were doing earlier, driving for depth, letting it go, creating that space. Just go, take it on, guys, it's out.
I feel like we went back to a little bit what we were doing in that first quarter. So remember, we play short and sharp, but we take the drives to draw. Someone's open. Play with confidence. Let's go. Vix on 3. 1, 2, 3, Vix!
Tanya Opp's really happy with how the Thunderbirds are travelling. She's chatting to the tack end about where they need to put that ball for Potgieter. At the moment, they're putting it out to the side, but she's saying if you put it right up top where the defenders can't get it, she's got more of a chance of pulling it in, so keep an eye out for that.
Thanks, Shani. Another HCF tactical timeout. Simone McInnes on that occasion looking to switch the momentum, and we have seen the power of these HCF tactical timeouts in the match thus far. When they've been called, the team that has called them has had a little bit of a run. So what kind of impact can that have right here?
It gives you an opportunity to get that coaching feedback, to talk to one another and adjust. We see Kate Eddy enter the court back in wing defence and Maloney back in centre.
Tipperdwan just opened up through the centre. 1-2, a couple of those between Williams and Potgieter. Now Hodges back to Williams. And off the post. So not what the Thunderbirds needed, and that slip up just opens the door for the Vixens. And now a misguided pass from Austin. So the pressure going both ways. And you can see that's the pressure. 3 bad passes from the Vixens in this match thus far.
And it's the connection. That give from Austin was where she thought Maloney was going to be, rather than siding it and giving the ball.
Well, even when you haven't got a player around you, it's just that perceived pressure, isn't it? Especially the likes of Wilson and Sterling.
Well, and there's a lot on the line in this game, and players will know that internally.
Potgieter. It's out to 5 for the Thunderbirds. So the defence end is firing, and so too is their attack end in this third quarter. And when that happens, the Thunderbirds are dangerous. Austin can't keep it in. I should say it's Watson. So, not a moment the Vixens will be wanting to remember what it takes from Wilson. And then Joe Weston getting across. Potgieter heard the call over the shoulder of Georgie Hodges. And this is where Kate Maloney, she's called out to her team to lift. They've got the turnover. They've got a 5-goal margin. They've got to rein in. And they haven't got the super shot specialist in Rani Samuson on the bench. Let's go sideline with Shani.
Olivia Lewis having a real impact coming out on the court. She's just moving around the circle, really confusing that space, which is what is getting the Vixens defence and those turnovers.
Well, it takes a squad to win a title, and you can see both teams using their entire team tonight, especially the Vixens. You can see Nat Von Berto, who is actually the idol of this young lady with the ball. Taylor Williams finds Hannah Petty. There she is, Taylor Williams. Saw Nat Von Berto win a number of titles with the Thunderbirds.
And Nat captained the last premiership with Adelaide Thunderbirds in 13. She's now the wellbeing person for the Adelaide Thunderbirds. So she's in that supportive role for the players, and she'll give them the advice and knows what it's like to play in front of a home crowd and in such a crucial game for finals. What a feed from Georgie Hodges. The vision and the placement is amazing.
Well, Nat Von Berto, she would be absolutely loving what she's seeing. And just how about that as a player you've idolised Nat Von Berto as Taylor Williams has, and she's got her there in the support staff, giving us some advice in this pressure cooker environment.
You're so right. There's nothing more that you can take from such a talented player, but one of the best, I'm happy to say, the best leader that I've played under myself. So she was part of the coaching system with the Adelaide Thunderbirds last year, but now in that wellbeing space. So to have that wealth of knowledge and experience, and somebody you idolised, hopefully not intimidated, and more treats her as a friend.
Kawenda shoveling it on to Watson, has to go back. She's struggling for options, decides to find Kawenda. And Kawenda was able just to reel it in. Not quite as close to the post as she'd like, Maui Kawenda.
She's having to work so hard in this match, and that's a credit to Sterling and Wilson. Nothing is going through easy. There's a pink dress on everything.
And just look at the time Maloney had to take to find that pass there from the centre. Austin back to Maloney. That's a big moment. They couldn't afford the turnover there.
Vixens need to be calm here. They need multiple options, let the ball go and be confident, and things like that will open up for you.
Austin presenting beautifully around the back. So it's back to 4. The power 5 is inside 60 seconds now. So Lenise Potgieter reaches, brings it back to 5. Peter Malinauskas, the South Australian Premier, loving it. He'll be loving that live ladder at the moment. The Thunderbirds inside the top 4 as it stands at the moment. The Vixens, they have got the deficit to fight back. And if they do, it's a minor premiership for them. And Maui Kamwenda needed that desperately. Gorgeous. Potgieter. Dwan got the arms up, but the pass was delayed. She just delayed slightly, Lenise Potgieter, and Lewis was able to get the arms up.
Great pressure from Olivia Lewis to get gain on hand of hands over.
Inside the power 5 now. So how can the Vixens go about it? Well, on that occasion, not well, because Taylor Williams with the turnover, forcing it from the Vixens. Let's go to Shani.
The Vixens' attack end is so stagnant at the moment as Potgieter gets that amazing pass. You can hear Simone on the sideline yelling, move, move, move. She wants them driving to the ball. At the moment, they're playing into the Thunderbirds' hands by standing still, which allows those Thunderbirds defenders to come through and get that intercept.
So just over 4 minutes remaining. They can go up by 2s. If they want the super shot on offer, it's not taken on that occasion. Kamwenda happy just to grind away at this deficit. That's the message from Simone McInnes. It's been the story this season for the Vixens. Latanya Wilson leading in this and net points department. Maloney not far behind, the Melbourne Vixens co-captain, Jamira Sterling as well. It's a high-quality contest from the defensive end of the Thunderbirds. And they go back and invite the Vixens now. They will have the next centre pass. They are 4 behind. You just have that feeling, if they can be efficient here, maybe there's a 3-goal turnaround on the way.
It's about options at the moment. They only have one option to the ball, so they need that movement, they need multiple options, and it will open up for them in the space and find people like Kamwenda at the post.
Well, there's the first task ticked off, so they've got the centre pass here, 3 behind. Do they try and reduce it to just 1 or 2? Kamwenda. Here's Maloney. Kamwenda, she doesn't score many Suncorp super shots, and cleaned up. She took too long, Maui Kamwenda, and that's the pressure from Sterling on show again. And it swings back the Thunderbirds' way.
Wow, and look at Captain Hannah Petty and Wilson in the background high-fiving each other. They know how much of a win in terms of momentum that moment was. Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. The defence effort, lucky she didn't get called for contact in the landing, but 3 seconds. So that pressure over that Suncorp super shot.
And look at it, it's back to 5. I'd love to know the vertical jumps they get. Wilson and Sterling. It is just incredible. They got trampolines in their calves, those two. Kamwenda just struggling to cause any kind of headway in this 3rd quarter.
Wilson again getting a tip on ball. Not only is their elevation, their strength, but their speed as well.
Look at that deflection count. Dominated tonight by the Thunderbirds. The Vixens pull back a Suncorp super shot. That's another donation to the Confident Girls Foundation.
Have a look at that little tip by Wilson on the Harvey Norman replay. That's what I mean. It's the speed from her. Not only is she good in the air, but she can run through the intercepts, and she makes a really nice matchup against Austin.
Oh, scrapping back possession is Kate Eddy.
Stepping call by Western there. These are the little things that come into a game. So both teams need to take a breath here and make sure they can convert their possession.
Final 90 seconds in this 3rd quarter. It's a contest you just cannot take your eyes off. The consequences are severe. Kipper Dwan shaping up for the Suncorp super shot. Potgieter will just take them up by 1. final 60 seconds of this third quarter.
And this game's going to go down to moments. There's moments in a match that are going to shift the game. It's going to be a little win. It's going to be a confidence booster. It's the team that steps up in that moment is the one that's going to walk away with the win.
So contact on Watson. So how do they go about this? Maui, Kamwenda couldn't deliver on that occasion. Austin with the rebound. Contact from Sterling getting up. And they've got less than 20 seconds from the centre pass to Thunderbirds to get themselves back out by 4.
They need to score off this, but they do have time. 13 seconds is not a lot, but enough for them to be really smart and execute.
For a Suncorp super shot, maybe not. Hot Gita got it there. A little bit cheeky as well.
And really smart from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They didn't cough up possession. They made smart moves and finished just on time.
So it's three-quarter time here on Fox Netball. We are turning for home next. You just cannot turn away from this match. We'll see you on the other side.
And welcome back to the Adelaide Entertainment Centre, where the Melbourne Vixens are down to the Adelaide Thunderbirds. They need to fight back in this last quarter to be able to lock in that minor premiership. But I tell you what, the Adelaide Thunderbirds are making it hard. Coach Simone McInnes has asked them to create their opportunities and to make the most of them. Sam, what did you hear in the Adelaide Thunderbirds huddle?
I listened into the Adelaide Thunderbirds attack end, and really interesting what I heard from Tanya Opp. She said that ball over to Pot Geeters is there. Why are we not giving it? Tipper spoke about how she was worried about that defender in front of them. So they spoke about strategies to give that ball in because it's on and it's working, but also use the swing in the centre court and the top of the circle to open it up. So I'm going to be watching that closely in this last quarter, Ben.
The final quarter time of the match brought to you by Origin Energy, the South Australian Premier Peter Malinauskas. He is in the house and he is liking what he's seeing from the team here in Adelaide. And Austin finds Maloney. Kamwenda looking for the layup. Just what they need to get themselves going in this fourth quarter.
And another change in the centre position with the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Elle McDonald coming into centre. I think she'll bring a lot of energy and change of direction. So let's see if she can get that feed into Pot Geeta that they're looking for.
The former Melbourne Vixen, Elle McDonald, training partner in 2020 when she made her debut with the Vixens. Lewis with the arm, and it's a scrap for the ball. It is Horges with it. Tipper Dwan. Allowed to get a little closer. And just falls short, had the lead in the arms. Is that a sign of things to come as this pressure mounts? Sam Poolman said in that third quarter, this is all going to come down to moments. Is that a moment that could come back to hurt the Thunderbirds? Contact on Eddie, quick distribution from Watson. What a benefit to have the Australian captain out there for the Melbourne Vixens. So many internationals. One of those Maloney to another in Austin. Deflection favours the Vixens. Kamwenda would like to get closer. More than 3 seconds, and the Vixens again pressurised by the Thunderbirds.
Well, you're right. A little win there from Watson getting her own ball back, but the pressure was building. They were throwing that ball around to the point where Kamwenda didn't have any options, didn't know what to do. Held ball.
Austin was shaping up from range. It's a big, well, every moment's big, but especially down by 3. And Kamwenda right next to the post should do so. Let's go to Shani.
It's not looking good for Matilda Garrett team. She's sitting on the sideline. She's got her jacket on there, and she has been told she's definitely not coming back on tonight. So our fingers are crossed for her, but unsure if it's a strain or a tear, but I guess we'll find out during the week.
Yeah, not good news at all, Shani, because she was so important earlier in this match for the Thunderbirds when she came on, so they're going to have to do it without her. Maybe a chance.
Wilson does just that.
Well, it could inspire them, Sam, and you feel like moments like that. Tanya Wilson again.
You're right, it is a loss from them. She brings another defensive element when we talk about their starting 7. It is promising to see her on the bench cheering for her teammate. And what a win from the Vixens. They're slowly chipping away at this scoreline.
Inside the final 12 minutes, Olivia Lewis, that's the impact she's had on this match, came in the second half and has put her stamp on the contest. Watson she'll just get a chance to have a breather. Everyone does around Adelaide Entertainment Centre. The Thunderbirds chant goes up. Austin to bring us back to a 1-goal match. We are back to just one the difference. And we have a HCF tactical timeout called by Tanya Opson. You can understand why, because the Vixens have clawed their way closer. Let's have a listen to the Adelaide Thunderbirds coach.
We can have you interchanging with Taylor on through court. All right, don't you get caught up too high now. Let's have a look at Earl doing that. Think about what Kate Eddy does and how you can keep presenting there. All right? Let's go, girls. Okay? You've had a lot of the ball here now early. Okay? Let's go back to our absolutes, our team absolutes. All right? Let's bring them to the front of our brain and let's make sure we nail them for this next lot of minutes.
Let's go dig in. Guys, get in the balls. Like, take care of them because this team is not going to give us no opportunity to get it back. Let's go.
Overload.
Yep. The T-Birds on 3. 1, 2, 3. T-Birds! Go!
The Vixens are unusually calm heading out of this timeout. They said, they want to get the ball to the circle edge so those Adelaide Thunderbirds defenders can't get their hands on the ball. So keep an eye out on them trying to do that.
Just over 11 minutes remaining. What impact has that tactical timeout had for Tanya Ops, brought to you by HCF? So Georgie Horgis into goal attack.
And we see Taylor Williams back in centre. I really liked what she's done in this game in terms of that vision. Georgie Horgis brings that real drive, which I think they're missing in this quarter. So we'll see her drive nicely, open up space, and she'll be happy to go to post.
So Elle McDonald, the former Vixen, in there at wing attack. Maloney fires it to Watson. The two Diamonds teammates combining. Have that crucial understanding. Watson and again Maloney. 10th season for both of those two. Austin returns it to Maloney. Sterling getting a hand in. And this time it's Williams just reaching down in front of Liz Watson, giving away the contact penalty. Austin, she has been cool, calm and collected tonight under pressure. Especially from range, and they've required more volume from her tonight. Good take and spin, wasn't it?
It was,
but she couldn't convert.
The vision into that feed is exactly one, but that's the moment. That's the moment you need to execute and finish your shot.
One the difference. It could have been two. Final 10 minutes. It's been mistakes like that. Well, Sterling at the other end for the Thunderbirds, ensuring that mistake from Potgieter.
Have a look at the Harvey Norman replay. Look at her footwork to confuse that space and get around the other side. Really smart from Sterling. Now it's They are so good at giving multiple opportunities to their attack end. This is the moment they need to score, as we see Liz Watson just get a caution.
Just amplifies this moment here. Potgieter couldn't convert before. She gets another opportunity. No pressure around her, and it's back to 2. A smile on the face of the South African. Maloney, back to Eddie, returns it to Maloney. An arm across from Petty. The deflection favours the Vixens, and they are keeping with them. It's been so tight across the 3 quarters so far. The Thunderbirds winning a couple, the Vixens the second, and that's why it's just 1 the difference. El McDonald forcing a stretch from Potgieter. Returns it to McDonald. Shaped the pass over the top, then went there. Weston chasing it down, so too was Eddie, but it beat them over the sideline. Williams and Horges. Potgieter.
We know the Melbourne Vixens have to be easily the most fittest team in the competition because they can play a really hard grind possession netball game in 60 minutes. So Adelaide Thunderbirds need to keep continually providing 2 options in attack and doing that hard grind and getting the ball in defence.
Well, at the moment, there's only one way this match is going, and it's very similar to the one we saw earlier tonight. It is going to come down to that power 5 at the back end. There's an arm in from Wilson. Williams, and then on to McDonald. Penny, the captain, chiming in. Potgieter quickly to Horges. Well, this is where they want to be quick because the Vixens able to get themselves back into shape. But Potgieter pulls them out.
And these are the moments we talk about. What a win from Wilson. Going it down. This is their second opportunity to score after this. We see a HCF tactical timeout called by the Vixens because the momentum has changed.
Well, we said Simone McInnes, she calls the least HCF tactical timeouts in the competition. Tonight, whenever she's called one, the momentum has swung their way. It's been likewise for Tanya Ops. We'll hear what words of wisdom she's got.
Do that work out the front there, slowing that ball down, put some hesitation, even attack the feed off the circle, all of those things. Down in that attack end, read off each other in that circle, read off each other, but let's keep driving and attacking that circle edge. Use the ball, have a look at the options that are there, rather than forcing it. Okay, these are the challenges that we want, guys. These are the challenges that we want.
I believe in every single one of you. We look each other in the eyes. We work our butts off for this last 7 minutes. We go back out with that confidence that we have to let the ball go, to contest the ball. Hey, let's go. The last 7 minutes is ours. Play our game. Vix on 3. 1, 2, 3,
And coming out of the Thunderbirds huddle, they are pumped. But Coach Tanya Ops seems also surprisingly calm. I don't know if I'm the only tense one in this stadium, but she just wants them to work that ball around in that goal third, and she doesn't want Potgieter to get caught in the tussle and get pulled for contact. So she's going to be moving, trying to stay in the game, and let's figure out what happens at the end of this quarter, team. I'm pumped.
Thanks, Shani. Well, you're not the only tense one. It's pretty tense over here as well. What a contest we have on our hands. And what about that pep talk from Kate Maloney? That's one of the best of the season. That's up there with Dan Ryan from the West Coast Fever. We've heard him a few times. Potgieter gets the rebound and couldn't on the second occasion. We'll mark that down. 7 minutes remaining. It could have been 4. The advantage for the Thunderbirds. You cannot give the team leading the competition those kind of opportunities.
You're so right. Again, it's about moments and scoring and making that count. We see Emily Mannix come into goalkeeper, And you're right, nothing more inspiring than your captain of your team saying, I believe in you. Every single player from the Melbourne Vixens will have confidence. And look at her saying, come on, cheering her team as she runs back to the centre circle.
And Simone McKinnon said, these are the challenges we want. We know the grand final's going to Perth if they make the grand final and they're up against the Fever. This is the kind of challenge they're going to have to face.
You're right, and there's so much emotion in this game. T-Birds a spot in the top 4 and finals. Melbourne Vixens, the minor premiership, wanting to play in front of their family and friends in that first semi-final. There's so much on the line in this game.
Well, it has to be the best Saturday night of action in the Suncorp Super Netball this season. What a night we've had. It went right down to the end of the fourth quarter when the Giants beat the Firebirds earlier tonight. Again, you feel it'll be the case here at Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Will it be the home team, though, who can hang on, or can the Vixens snatch another minor premiership?
Another moment by the Adelaide Thunderbirds. Potgieter confused what to do with the ball. That's the experience of the Melbourne Vixens. They'll pounce on everything. Adelaide just need to keep their confidence, have options, give and go. They've done that beautifully in the first 3 quarters of this game. We see a little change in the back of the play there. Potgieter going off. No surprise, those last 2 possessions that they've lost. And Tipper Dawn come on. That provides a moving circle now for the Adelaide Thunderbirds.
Yeah, so Potgieter just having a few issues. And now we get to see these 2 attacking players who are so good from the super shot. So at the other end, Kumwenda does her job. It's 46 all. There's less than 5 remaining. Vixen centre pass and Sterling. That is Sterling from Shamira.
What a moment from her. Her team needs the ball and she took a very risky, confident play. And you saw her emotion after that. She knew how important that ball was for her to get for her team. She is a leader. She can get ball. What a moment stepping up. Have a look at this Harvey Norman replay. What a contest from her in a crucial moment. 46 all, 4.5 minutes to go in this match.
Petty and Hodges not on the same wavelength as McDonald. So the Vixens, they have just stuck by the Thunderbirds. They haven't let them get too far in front. They've been behind for most of this match. But champion teams, they're able to pull out results when they're put under the most pressure. This is the test of them tonight.
They are so good at possession ball. So what that means is just giving options. T-Birds do make them forced errors. So in this last 3 minutes, they just need to continually show options. Liz Watson lucky not to get called for offside then, and what a take from Kawenda.
Up above Wilson. The Vixens are in front. They have turned it around. And we have another HCF tactical timeout. The tension is building, and Tanya Obst has got a message for her side here at the HCF tactical timeout.
Right, this is going to be all about up here in character today. All right, so let's finish this one off with 3 minutes to go. Traditional, like your traditional shooter game. We don't need 2 pointers, we just keep rolling it through. All right. If we are all wide, that's you coming out through the middle, and then somebody's cutting in. Okay, let's finish this off. So you've got this.
Let's change it up. We take it on. We back each other up. All right? Let's go. T-Birds on. We'll go wide. Let's do it. T-Birds on 3. 1, 2, 3. T-Birds. Let's go. Everybody.
Coming out of the Vixens huddle, these girls are pumped. They make sure that they just need to play that ball around. The Thunderbirds are doing a box on them, so they need to look for that free player over the top in attack, but much easier said than done in the final minutes of this game.
Thank you, Shani. 3.5 minutes left. Shamira Sterling has already played a significant role tonight. She's going to have to step up again in these last 3.5 minutes. She is stalking around the goal circle. thinking about what she's going to do, visualising these final minutes.
Well, Ben, this Adelaide crowd is so loud and will get behind their team. We struggled to hear Shani Norda, so that just tells you how loud this crowd is in here. They will give it everything for the Thunderbirds to get over the line.
Wilson, she's got to go quick, finds Dwan, and now Williams. And Dwan was able to reach it. There is a penalty the way of the Thunderbirds. Will it be 47 apiece? Can she hold the nerve? Two sides that don't like the Suncorp super shot. The Thunderbirds the third fewest, the Vixens the second fewest. So that's what we've got in these final 3 minutes. Does one side chance their arm? Do they deviate from the way they've gone about things this season? Or do they just keep going up in ones? Pressure can do funny things. Watson has to wait for Sterling just to return to the ground.
We heard Tanya Ops in the HCF timeout talk about going for ones and play, you know, normal netball, she said, down that shooting end. So for me, I think it's about scoring off the ones. And we know that teams can get the ball back in defence, but there's not too much time left in this game.
Well, remember, if we are level, we are heading into extra time. It is very much a chance tonight, but maybe after that, the Vixens have a chance to go on and win it. Maloney, Weston, Watson, and here is Eddie.
Have a look at the intercepts. Wilson for Sterling for... If anyone's going to turn over the ball and step up in a big moment, that is these two. They need to get another ball back for their team, create another opportunity. Can they do it?
Austin was presenting. She had the arm raised. They've got a penalty. And Kumwenda got herself right next to the post. So they're up by 2. It is going to take a Suncorp super shot if the Thunderbirds are to claw their way back into this one. The Vixens have a chance to go up by 3. They desperately need possession, the Thunderbirds. Eddie. And now Weston. This is where Sam and Shani have spoken about how the Vixens are so good in possession.
And they're happy to play the ball around. This is wasting time, which means there's not much opportunity left for T-Birds. So someone in the Thunderbirds needs to stand up here. They need to take a risk. They need to challenge that ball.
So it's back to 3.
So the ball has to come back now. They need to be really smart, use their minds. As Tanya said, character, get that ball as close to the ring as they can and deliver.
Tanya Ops looking dejected. Tipper drawn, couldn't get it to drop. And you just wonder that moment with 7 minutes to go. The Thunderbirds could have been out by 4. The shot wasn't drained. And now it's 3 for the Vixens, and the minor premiership is within their grasp. Austin to Kumwenda. Just seconds remaining. And Maui Kumwenda delivers for the Vixens.
Have a look at the motion on Sterling's face.
So from the summit to the spoon and back again, it's the Melbourne Vixens minor premiership for the second time in 3 seasons. What a turnaround from the 2021 season to go to the top in 2022.